We use soft paper products every day, sometimes without even thinking about it. At a dinner table, in the bathroom, in our bags, on the go. Two of the most common are paper napkins and tissue paper, words people often use interchangeably. But if you stop and wonder whether those thin sheets next to your fork and knife are really the same thing as the Kleenex you blow your nose with, the answer is not quite. On the surface, they look similar, just soft white paper. Yet they're designed for different purposes, manufactured differently, and even behave differently when you put them to use. Today we'll dive deep into the real differences between paper napkins and tissue paper, so you understand not just how they're used, but why they feel different, why one might tear while the other holds up, and how their manufacturing and environmental footprints set them apart. Let's dive in. Right here, on History of Simple Things. At first glance, both paper napkins and tissue paper are lightweight, soft, disposable sheets made from wood pulp or recycled fiber. But they occupy different categories in the world of paper products. Paper napkins are designed primarily for wiping hands and mouths during meals, and as such they tend to be a bit thicker, more absorbent in a way that resists tearing when wet, and often larger in size. Tissue paper, on the other hand, is manufactured to be extremely soft and gentle on skin, which makes it ideal for delicate uses like blowing your nose or removing makeup. And that softness generally comes with a lighter weight and thinner construction. Even though both products are technically tissue papers in the broad sense, because they're both made on a tissue paper machine. When we say tissue paper in everyday language, we usually mean facial tissues, the pop-up box kind you find on nightstands and in purses. That everyday distinction, dinner table versus personal care, helps define how each product is engineered and marketed. When we look at how paper napkins and tissue papers are made, the differences become even clearer, because the manufacturing process tailors each product for its intended use. Both start with wood pulp or recycled paper, but the pulp treatment, pressing and drying stages vary. Paper napkins are often made to be more robust and slightly heavier, and manufacturers sometimes use embossing patterns that add thickness and structure, helping them absorb liquid without immediately falling apart. Tissue paper for facial use is typically treated to maximize softness, meaning the fibers are refined and processed in a way that reduces roughness and increases pliability. Some tissue papers also undergo additional treatments like lotioning or perfume application to make them gentler or more pleasant to use on skin. In contrast, napkins may go through less refining for softness because their primary job is to handle food mess and moisture, not skin comfort. These subtle differences in processing, how the fibers are beaten, how much bonding strength is created between fibers, and whether additives are included, result in two products that look similar but feel different and behave differently under stress. The core functions of paper napkins and tissue paper reflect the environments where we use them and what we expect them to do. Paper napkins are engineered for mealtime cleanup, whether it's wiping greasy fingers after eating ribs, blotting a spill at a coffee shop, or wrapping leftovers in a pinch. Because of that, they are usually thicker and designed to maintain some integrity when wet. They're also often sized to fit at tables and may come in multiple plies, layers, to increase strength. Tissue paper, by contrast, is designed for personal hygiene, most commonly to absorb nasal discharge when you have a cold or to gently dab tears from your eyes. The priority here is softness against sensitive skin, not structural strength or liquid retention under pressure. If you tried to use facial tissue to clean up a saucy spill at dinner, you'd quickly notice how easily it tears compared with a dinner napkin. Conversely, using a dinner napkin to blow your nose might feel scratchy and rough because it hasn't been engineered for that level of skin contact. Each product's design reflects its primary function, and that's why they aren't always interchangeable in practice. The difference between paper napkins and tissue paper largely comes down to texture and skin contact. Tissue paper is designed to be soft and smooth for sensitive facial skin, using refined fibers and sometimes added treatments for comfort. Paper napkins feel rougher because their texture and embossing help trap moisture in food, making them better for wiping hands and spills. These textures are intentional, reflecting how each product is meant to be used. Beyond performance and feel, paper napkins and tissue paper also differ in environmental impact. Both are usually made from wood pulp, which means they depend on forest resources unless recycled fibers are used. Paper napkins often require more raw material because they are thicker and designed to absorb heavier messes, while some tissue papers include added lotions, fragrances, or treatments that can increase their environmental footprint. Once used, neither product is recyclable due to food or biological contamination, although many paper napkins can be composted under the right conditions. For those concerned about sustainability, choosing products made with recycled content, minimal additives, and clear disposal or composting guidelines can help reduce overall impact. Paper napkins and tissue paper may look similar, but they serve different purposes. Napkins are thicker and stronger, designed for food messes, while tissue paper is softer and lighter, made for gentle contact with skin. These differences come from how they're manufactured, how the fibers are treated, and what each product is meant to do. Understanding this helps you choose the right one, reduce waste, and appreciate the design behind everyday paper products. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.